Yo guys, what's up? Your
#1 transsexual defense player.
CPO here. Today I wanted to show you a 6-piece defense build, obviously all classified. So first to my guns as always. Obviously you will run a SMG because it's a shield build and you can use SMGs with that build. And the only SMG I have is the house actually. I mean it's also the best SMG, so I would definitely use a house. But as secondary or even as main, if you really want to, you could use a Midas as well. I don't have one to show the talent now. To be honest, the only SMG I have is the house on 1.3 MP7 and the Tommy gun. So yeah, I would definitely recommend the house because you can, I mean it's definitely the best SMG at the moment, you do a lot of damage. And yeah, just if you want to do a little bit of damage at least, if you play defense on a group, then definitely play the house. And if you want to just really support and you can't kill anything, or you don't want to kill anything, then play the Midas, because that is reducing the enemy's damage if you hit them. So yeah, to the house, I would definitely recommend you to run Deadly, and then Unforgiving or Vicious, because you have 9k stam. Vicious because you don't have crit chance on the holster or the mask, so you miss a little bit of crit chance. So Vicious would definitely help, but Unforgiving is also decent. I would recommend running Vicious though, because since you have a shield you will rarely run low health. Definitely not with that toughness as well, like 9k stam and nearly 600k toughness. You won't run low health too much, because you have a shield in front of you. So yeah, Vicious and Deadly on the SMG, or on the house at least. And then yeah, mod it with crit damage everywhere, and then you're good to go. Secondary doesn't matter, but I personally run a double barrel sword off with Predator, Determined and Talented. Could replace Talented with something else like Sustained. So to my pieces. I think it's everything into Stamina, but I have to say that if you play the build in Last Stand or Skirmish, you should play one piece in firearms, otherwise you won't unlock the talents for the talent requirements for Deadly, I think. But since my stam rolls on a few pieces, for example the mask and the gloves, they are pretty bad. So I just rolled all the pieces to stam because I just wanted to make that build video, and to be honest I won't play the build, it's just a showcase of the build, how I would play it. In my opinion, it's probably the second or the best support build in a group, in PvP at least, since I can just explain the set, I guess. So, the set, as 2-piece, you get 15% protection from elites, which is useless. 3-piece gives you 10% ballistic shield damage resilience, which is really nice. The 4-piece frontline allows using an SMG if one is equipped when ballistic shield is deployed. Only master rank shield mode is active. Ballistic shield health is increased by 57% for every 3000 stamina. So I have 9k stam, so it is increased by 171. Then the 5-piece gives you another 5% ballistic shield damage resilience and 15% protection from elites, which is again useless. Even though you could play that build in PvE, but I would definitely not recommend it at all. And the 6-piece, improved frontline. When ballistic shield is deployed, melee damage is increased by 2000%, which is definitely good if you want to troll some plebs in the Dark Zone. But yeah, otherwise that doesn't really matter at all. And all overhealing the player receives is applied to the ballistic shield as healing. That's pretty good as well, so you can't get overhealed if I understand it correctly, but your shield gets healed, if I understand it correctly. After reaching a damage threshold from receiving physical or exotic damage, the ballistic shield grants a buff to the players and all group members within 15 meters for 6 seconds. The duration of the buffs is increased by 2 seconds for every 3000 stamina the player has. So it's increased by another 6 seconds. So 12 seconds overall. Physical damage, armor is increased by 30%. Physical damage is gun damage. And I don't know how much exactly the gun damage is, but I will quickly show example here, right now. And also example for the exotic damage. Weapon damage is increased by 30%. Exotic damage is bleed damage and nades. Probably I missed something now, but those are definitely the two main damage types, nades and bleed. And the physical damage is just gun damage, and I will quickly show that now.
Ist nie allzu gut.
Okay, first exotic damage. So grenades. There we go.
Ja, ich bin online, ich join jetzt einfach.
30% weapon damage, as the set said, easy. And now to the physical damage. Okay, now to the physical damage with bullets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 5 bullets, GG. 5 bullets. 6 bullets, sorry. 1 million toughness and
6 bullets.
And that is... Oh, fuck. My armor... Here, 62%, easy. So, just increase armor by flat 30%. And it's like 6 bullets.
Or not.
Okay, there's a few more now. Okay.
Warte, jetzt nochmal, nach den Buff hattest, jetzt gleich wenn der Buff stand ist nochmal. Idiot. Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27.
I'm not rogue.
Fuck off. Okay, again.
Warning.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Fuck off. Okay, like 16. Okay. Yeah, 30% flat more armor, 1 million toughness. Thanks for recording. I link you in my
No problem.
channel. I link you on my channel. 1v1. 1v1.
Was ist
Number 1 transsexual defense player in action.
was ist benq?
Shield is broken. Autism is real. Okay, guys, thanks for watching.
Oh. Number 1 transsexual defense player.
Yeah. Okay, so as you could see, the armor buff by 30% and also the weapon damage buff is pretty strong. Even though the weapon damage buff is rarely happens, I must say, because I mean most good groups play final measure as well, so you catch the nades. But if you get the damage, then it's really strong, and you can also get both. You can get physical and exotic damage at the same time. So you can have weapon damage increased and weapon damage and armor increased at the same time. So if you wanna set that up, for example, you could just double nade yourself with 2 of your own nades, get the exotic damage buff, get weapon damage, and then push with the shield. Get the armor buff because other players gonna shoot that shield because they don't learn. People always throw nades if you play final measure, and people will always shoot the shield if you go in front. That will never change because people don't think when they play, or most players at least, like 99%. So that build will always work. Same for final measure, those builds will always work, doesn't matter what they do. And yeah, definitely pretty strong build. And when at 9000 stamina, ballistic shield health is increased by 200%. So quickly show my shield HP. So as I said, the base mode is active, and I have 2.3 million HP on the shield. That is pretty fucking much, I must say. And with all the skill haste I stacked on the build, it's 19 seconds cooldown only. So even if it breaks, I have it back pretty fast. And I think the weapon damage is, like, until the bonus triggers, is around 500k, but I'm not sure now. That is just a guess. So around 500k, I guess. And yeah, then I have damage resistance of 41%, pretty good as well, but I will come to that later, to the skills. So on the chest, I run skill haste and health with ammo capacity and obviously stam, as I said. And I would definitely recommend that as stats to run, like health, obvious, and skill haste as well. The mask, I run another stam. I think I run, yeah, everything stammed, as I said. But as I said, if you want or if you have a fully optimized defense build, then definitely run STAM mods and One Piece and Firearms, because then you can also play it in Last Stand. In my case, I couldn't play that in Last Stand or Skirmish, but as I said, I'm not playing that build, I just make the showcase. So I'm running firearms mods with skill haze and all pieces into STAM. Yeah, the mask has skill power, just to get over 120k skill power, because at 120k your shield health and everything is maxed out, so don't get over 120k, you don't need that. But to achieve that, just get skill power on the mask, knee pads and backpack. And as minus that, I obviously have burn resistance and yeah, firearms mode with skill haze. Then yeah, as I said, the knee pads have skill power, which is rarely, which you should normally never do. But just for that build, you should do that, because if you don't do it, you have to run skill power mods, and then you lose out on a little bit of crit chance. And the health you gain doesn't really matter, since as I said, you already have 9k stam and you are behind the shield, so you don't take much damage anyways. So yeah, that is fine, the skill power here, that doesn't matter. And then yeah, as performance mods, I have ballistic shield damage resilience. I think I have only 4%, I just bought them this week, but 4.5 is the max. So if you want to min-max, then get the 4.5% mods, either craft them or wait. I even have one stam mod here, I think, to get over 9k. And the backpack is, yeah, again, skill power, stam and disrupt resistance. I would definitely recommend running disrupt resistance on as minor on the backpack dispatch over burn resistance, because disrupt is just more important, since a lot more players run sticky disruptor or disruptor flash, whatever it's called. And yeah, another firearms mode with skill haze and ballistic shield damage resilience. Then my gloves, they are completely garbage. That's because I didn't really check my defense parts at the global event, because I didn't thought I will ever do a build like that. Like, as I said, I will not even play that build in PvP or ever. I just made a video for those guys that wanna know how to build. And yeah. But I personally can't show gameplay or will play that build. It's just not my playstyle, sitting behind the shield. I don't like that. But in a group, I definitely want a defense player, because it's really strong, as I said. So yeah, on the gloves I have a pretty low stam roll. Then I have one kill, which is definitely completely useless. I would rather go for crit damage, I think. Since SMGs already have a pretty decent crit chance, but if you really like it, I don't think it matters too much, but still I would go for crit damage. You could also go for crit chance though. But the two stats you should definitely have is SMG damage and skill haze, just to get your skill pads faster. First of all, the sticky disruptor, which I will come to later, and then second of all, the shield, if it ever goes down, which, as I said, rarely happens, I think, with that HP. And then the holster, as always, just high main stats and skill haze. I don't know, I think skill haze is a little bit better than the crit chance, but you could also run crit chance, I guess. I would prefer, or I would rather go for skill haze though. So yeah. To my skills, as I said, or as you already know, you run the ballistic shield base mod with the master mod, which doesn't give you any of those bonuses, just the master mod, with a huge amount of health. Like, as I said, 2.3 million, it's huge. That shield can't really die if you combat medic it. And a pretty good damage resistance, so even if they shoot you instead of the shield, you won't really die, because with that damage resilience and your health pool, you are tanky as fuck. You're a fucking tank. And then yeah, as secondary, I'm running a disruptor. Disruptor EMP. That is just in general pretty good skill for PvP, since it disrupts the station and stops the striker stacks if somebody plays it, and stops turrets and all that. Like, just overall pretty good. It just prevents players from using their skills, which is really important in PvP. So definitely run Disruptor and not the Flashbang. I see a lot of players running the Flashbang in PvP, which is just complete nonsense, just super bad. But Disruptor is definitely the way to go. And I don't feel like running a Pulse, since most of the times the other player in your team has a Pulse. then the heal doesn't do anything for you. You could probably run booster shot, but most of the time somebody else in your group has a booster shot. Turrets are useless, smart cover is useless, that is useless, C commands are useless, and the immunizer is kinda... You don't need the immunizer as well, because as I said, if you play that build you have at least one healer in the group, and the damage dealers have immunizer as well. So you already have enough immunizers, you don't need that. Then ult doesn't matter, just whatever you need at the moment. And as tenants, they're actually not too easy. For me, Combat Medic I would definitely say, yeah, best group tenant ever. Then Precision gives you a little bit more crit chance and damage if you hit a headshot, which I know in long range it's hard with SMGs, but at one point you will hit a headshot, doesn't matter how good or bad your aim is. Then On the Move and Adrenaline, but you could swap out Adrenaline with Crit Save, or On the Move with Crit Save, but yeah, like those 5 tenants. On the Move, Precision, Adrenaline, Crit Save and Combat Medic, but Combat Medic and Precision is in my opinion a must-have, and then you can think about On the Move or Adrenaline, I guess. So yeah, I hope I could help you with that build video. No gameplay for me, because I don't play that build. My mate plays it, but I don't want to ask him for gameplay, I don't want to edit that shit. And yeah, just a quick overview over the build, how I would do it, and I think that's the best way to do it. So definitely don't spec anything into electronics or firearms, just 9k stam, and then spec the rest into firearms to unlock the tenants. That's the way to go. It's not a solo player build, definitely not. And yeah, play it in team, and I think it's the best for PvP, as I said. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you in my next one. Bye bye guys.